Hi friends. Okay, so it's Pride Month and I'm making videos about being queer all month long. This one's a little vulnerable. I don't like to share a lot of personal information about my relationships online, so I want you to respect that and not ask me about them unless I bring it up again. That said, I know a lot of queer people struggle when they're young with imagining a future for themselves where they can be loved or have a partner or a family or whatever blueprint they had for their life before they realized they were different. For me, I didn't know that I was queer for a really long time, so that wasn't my main fear. But I did have another one, which is that I was depressed and anxious, and before I got help for my mental health, it made life really difficult for me. And I thought that I would be unlovable because I was crazy. And that thought, even well into my 20s, kept popping up like a game of whack-a-mole I couldn't win. Not long before I moved to New York, I was making regular flights out to New York and DC to interview for jobs at nonprofits, and when I went to New York, I would go see this girl that I kind of had a crush on while I was there. We weren't dating yet, but it seemed like things might be heading in that direction, especially after it became clear that I was about to become a lot more geographically convenient. So one day she asked if I wanted to go have coffee with one of her friends, and to me that meant like, oh, I'm good enough to meet the friends. We're about to pass that checkpoint on the way to a relationship. Okay, let's do this. We met up in a coffee shop in Bed-Stuy that was part artisan hot beverages, part plant store. We found a spot and bought our tea, and then in walks her impeccably dressed and incredibly cool friend. We'd already brushed shoulders on Twitter, so the aesthetic didn't intimidate me so much as the sudden realization that she was a reporter. And like, in a way that makes her really good at her job. I'm sure she doesn't turn the reporter part off. I wasn't at a casual coffee with friends. I was at a job interview. She wanted to get to know me, so she asked about my interests and my family and my relationship history and my career and my 5-year plan, and I was just like, I half answered everything like a stammering dunce, revealed to be a total mess with an ongoing identity crisis, mired in grief, going on 6 months of unemployment with no real idea of what I want to be doing next week, much less a year from now. So, exactly who you want to be dating your friend, right? She said something like, oh wow, that's so different to how I operate. It gives me a lot of anxiety when I don't have a plan. And I was like, oh yeah, totally not me. I don't like having plans, not at all. But it's hard to know exactly what she said because I'd already started spiraling down past I'm not good enough to be anyone's girlfriend, looping through I'm not good enough to get any of these jobs that I came to interview for, and landing down around I'm a worthless bucket of slugs who fails everyone who comes near me. So the ride back to my crush's apartment was quiet. I was sure she was passing over in her mind how to get the hell away from me. We went back inside and put on a TV show, which one I never registered because I was too focused on the feeling that I couldn't fit any air in my lungs. So I tried to inconspicuously like turn over and take deep breaths, which were more like shallow hiccups. She asked me, what's wrong? And I said, I can't really breathe. And she said, do you think you're maybe having a panic attack? And then the dam broke open. Shallow hiccups became deep, gasping sobs and shaking shoulders. She smoothed her hand over my hair until I started to slow down, and then she sat me up and brought me a glass of water. I was totally unprepared for her to see me in that state, especially with what a loser I had just been exposed to be. I didn't want to be too much for her too soon. But as I sipped my glass of water with my puffy eyelids aching and her arm around my back, I realized that with the grace she had just shown me, I hadn't failed any test. Because with her, there never was one. No matter what makes you different, you are worthy of love. And you might find, just like I did, that there are also a ton of other people who are also depressed or also bisexual or people who are whatever it is that you are. Actually, a study in the American Journal of Public Health found that 59% of bisexual women experience anxiety and 58% experience mood disorders sometime in their lifetime. So you're probably among friends. So you're gonna find people who won't think that you're all that weird in the first place. And they're gonna smooth your hair down and tell you that they're right there and they're not going anywhere. So this is the last in my series of Pride videos, and I just want to say that I love you all, and I hope that you're not going anywhere either. In the comments, tell me a story about someone, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a friend or family member, but someone who you love for exactly who they are. If you like this video, please share it with someone else who you think might like it. You can also hit the notification bell to make sure that you never miss my videos, or support me on Patreon to get exclusive content, writing, newsletters, playlists, and help me make more of these. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.